Next on Worcester News tonight, a well pump goes missing from a historic site. Now police and the Historical Commission are hoping to find it. Plus, it may not feel quite like spring, but many are spending the day outdoors soaking in the sunshine. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. One of the oldest one-room schoolhouses in the country is in Sutton. It was recently repaired but still has many antique pieces of equipment like a cast iron well pump. Caretakers of the building say it was recently stolen and they're hoping someone will bring it back. Our Brittany Schaefer joins us live now to explain. Brittany?
Olivia, the historic water pump was stolen off of this box here. The caretaker noticed it was missing on Monday and says it's heartbreaking someone could do this.
This was the platform where it was secured, and this is where it was removed and taken from.
A cast iron well pump is stolen from the historic 8-lot school in Sutton. Historical Society Vice President David Peasy takes care of the schoolhouse and says it's a big shock.
Very unfortunate situation. It's been here for years. Unfortunate that somebody came by and was able to not have any consideration and steal what was there on the property.
The 1773 school was recently restored. The work took years to complete. Peasy says the organization takes pride in the building, and it was fun for visitors to see how the school pumped water.
Every year the third grade groups come in and spend the day at the schoolhouse inside as well as outside to get a perspective and appreciation of the history of the town and the schoolhouse that we're so fortunate to have. A little unfortunate, a little disgusted about it.
I was appalled that this would even happen, considering the amount of hard work that's gone into that building over the last 4 or 5 years.
Peasy filed a police report earlier this week. Sutton police are asking the public for any information and say they don't have much to go off of.
There's been an alert that was sent out by the detective. It's a scrap metal alert. I would say it's probably valued at a couple $100 just because it's an antique and it's pretty rare.
The Historical Society says this is one of the oldest one-room schoolhouses in the country. Member Walter Baker says the iron pump added to the authenticity and hopes it'll be replaced.
I hope we could retrieve it. We have an excellent police department here. But again, who knows? It could possibly be on its way to auction. I find it quite offensive.
Baker says multiple people in town have offered to replace the pump. He says they will make sure they cement the next one down so this doesn't happen again. Live in Sutton, Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Developing news tonight, President Trump says he will not cut funding for the Special Olympics. He says he just heard about the proposal to cut funding this morning and instructed his administration to commit money to the program. U.S. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos received a lot of backlash after proposing to cut government funding. The program is designed to help children and adults with disabilities. It was another sunny day with temperatures reaching just above 50 degrees, but cloud and rain could be on its way. Here's meteorologist Tim Kelly with the first look at our local forecast.
Today is day 6. We had sunshine. We're on borrowed time. Energy is coming at us from every direction. That storm off Florida is not coming at us. But there's cold in Canada, there's warm from the Gulf of Mexico, and there's a parade of waves of low pressure coming from the Pacific Ocean. First wave of low pressure is going to come at us late tonight with clouds. Well, the clouds are coming in right now. It's raining a little bit in New York, and we are going to be warm enough that we get raindrops tomorrow. Outside tonight, we stay above freezing. Today we did get into the lower 50s. Tonight we cool into the upper 30s and lower 40s. The breeze is sustained at 15 miles an hour from the south. Dry start tomorrow morning. Here's 11 o'clock. There's a front coming at us. It is a cold front, but we're on the warmer side of it. Warm being seasonable for this time of year. 45 to 50 as the raindrops come in during the midday. We may get a tenth or 2/10 of an inch of rain between about 11 and 4, and then the rain's going to move off, and then slightly cooler air is going to come in, but not before we get to the 50s. But I think we're going to stay warm enough that the weekend looks pretty good. Not completely sunny, but no snow, almost no snow. 10-day forecast in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Tim. And it was breezy in the hills of Worcester today, but it didn't stop some from getting out and enjoying the fresh air. Green Hill Golf Course opened earlier this week, and as our Rosalind Flaherty explains, many have been itching to get outside.
Michael Dembowski and his group of friends have been waiting all winter to get back out on the greens.
But to be back in the first round of the year, outdoors,
long time coming.
Earlier this week, Green Hill Golf Course in Worcester opened for the season, and they spent a lot of time preparing.
Reviewing the golf course for any damage over the winter, tree damage, getting the staff back in place is always another big step. And once everybody's here and can get onto the golf course, they do all the cleanup stuff, get it ready. Cups and pins.
Golfers weren't the only ones enjoying the start of spring. Many lined up to get ice cream at Yeoman's in Westboro.
New Englanders are diehard ice cream fans, so they were lined up March 1st in the snow, ready for their cone.
They, too, do a lot to get ready for the season.
Clean, and then just start making ice cream.
Although Thursday was pretty windy on the hill, it didn't stop golfers from perfecting their swing.
It was cold on the first tee, but it's comfortable now.
it's always windy, so you gotta accept it and just go with it.
Green Hill Golf Course is still working to put the finishing touches on their course. They expect to be packed this weekend. Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
The improper disposal of smoking materials is to blame for a 3-alarm fire in Douglas. The state fire marshal's office says there were numerous cigarette butts found in mulch outside the apartment complex, as well as a melted plastic fire pot used often by residents to put out cigarettes. Close to 20 people were displaced as a result of the early morning fire. Thankfully, no one was injured. The building did have working smoke detectors. Barre police make an unusual drug arrest this week. They say a routine traffic stop led them to a man who markets himself as a marijuana doctor. Our Chandler Walsh joins us now with more on the arrest. Chandler.
Olivia, though recreational marijuana is legal in the state, there are many necessary steps in order to obtain a license to sell, steps this man didn't go through. This man calls himself Dr. Puffinstuff, with business cards to prove it.
Well, he's transporting product. He clearly has business cards that indicate that he distributes at trade shows.
The Barre Police Department says his real name is Todd Hodges. Officers pulled him over on a traffic stop Wednesday night. They say the 60-year-old Rutland man was operating an online marijuana business. In addition to his cards and an embroidered lab coat, they found about 6 pounds of marijuana, several ounces of mushrooms, and packing materials in his car.
This is approximately 6 pounds with an estimated street value of $22,000 and clearly above any personal use limit.
Hodges is facing drug possession and possession with intent to distribute charges, and police are still looking into his online store.
So now we're looking into the legality of having a website and giving marijuana as a gift and in exchange for purchase of a non-marijuana product.
Barre Police Chief John Carbone says they're seeing changes in crime with the state's new marijuana laws.
Regulatory committees are going to have to look into this to keep this from becoming something that grows unexpectedly. I don't think that was the intent to have this type of business.
Chief Carbone says the department is raising money for a canine to help detect any drugs passing through town. Hodges was released on $500 bail and ordered to remain drug-free with random screens. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
It's been a little more than 1 year since the Category 3 landing system started running at the Worcester Regional Airport. The year before the system was used, 15 flights had to be diverted. This past year, only 5 were. The system allows flights to land in low visibility conditions. It costs $32 million and was paid for by a commission of federal funding and money from Massport. Airport leaders say the system makes it more attractive for airlines and passengers. A Worcester brewery is celebrating Women's History Month by showcasing the talent of their female employees. Greater Good Imperial Brewing is unveiling a new beer Saturday made by 5 women. The citrus IPA is called Pink is the New Black. Melissa Sherry is the front of house manager. She says typically women don't get the opportunity to create the brews in the craft beer industry, and she says it was a fun process.
For the day, we went to Brewmasters, which is our satellite brewing facility. So we were able to bond for the day, and then it was packaged this week. So going through that process was really educational for everybody.
And the launch event is this Saturday from open until close. Greater Good says they will be celebrating the women who work there and the new beer. City Councilor Matt Wally is proposing a registry for property owners in the city. The registry would only apply to those who rent their property and do not live in it. Councilor Wally says the goal is to create an environment where absentee landlords are forced to take care of their properties. Wally owns a 3-decker here in Worcester. He says he wants to ensure residents have a safe and suitable place to live.
Or an inspection internally and externally. So I think the code department would have a better idea regarding some of the code violations that are going unseen. And specifically, I think in Worcester, many of the individuals who are renting, I think this order would help them.
And Councilor Wally's order will go in front of City Council this upcoming Tuesday.